Dead by Daylight, a game of tense cat and mouse, has somehow become a breeding ground for the most bizarre self-imposed rule set in gaming history. I'm talking, of course, about the infamous Survivor Rulebook. This phantom document, whispered about in forums and flung like digital feces in post-game chats, dictates how killers should play, a set of guidelines that somehow, miraculously, always benefit the survivors. Let's dissect this absurdity, shall we? No camping. Apparently, a killer standing near a hooked survivor is a cardinal sin. Never mind that it applies pressure, forces altruistic rescues, and can be a perfectly viable strategy, especially against coordinated teams. According to the rulebook, killers should politely wander off, allowing survivors to freely unhook and heal, essentially gifting them a second chance. The killer's objective, to sacrifice, is secondary to survivor comfort. Then there's no tunnelling. Targeting the recently unhooked survivor, the one already injured and vulnerable, is deemed unfair. But in a game where efficiency is key, why wouldn't a killer capitalise on an easy down? Survivors, meanwhile, are free to chain flashlight saves, body block, and use every perk and item available to them, all in the name of survival. Double standards, anyone? And of course, the ever-popular no slugging. Leaving survivors downed on the ground is, apparently, a grave offence. Forget the fact that it prevents immediate self-healing, allows for map pressure, or is a necessity against coordinated teams who can quickly heal and unhook. No, the killer must pick up and hook immediately, even if it means losing the game. The fundamental flaw in this rulebook is its blatant hypocrisy. Survivors, in their pursuit of escape, are given carte blanche. They can exploit every perk, item and map mechanic. They can form coordinated teams, communicate via external voice chat, and employ every dirty trick in the book. But the killer, the single player tasked with eliminating 4 opponents, is shackled by an imaginary code of conduct. The win at all costs mentality, so prevalent among survivors, suddenly vanishes when the killer dares to employ effective strategies. Suddenly it's toxic, unfair, and unskilled. Where is the logic? Dead by Daylight is, at its core, a game of asymmetric horror. The killer is meant to be a terrifying force, a relentless predator. The survivors, conversely, are meant to be vulnerable, resourceful prey. The rulebook flips this dynamic on its head, turning the killer into a docile babysitter and the survivors into entitled overlords. It's time to dismantle this ludicrous notion. Killers are not bound by any arbitrary rules. They are free to employ any strategy, any perk, any tactic necessary to achieve their objective. Survivors, if they wish to escape, should focus on adapting, outsmarting, and surviving, not dictating how their pursuer plays. The game is about survival, not about enforcing a code that only benefits one side. Let the killers camp, tunnel, and slug. Let them embrace the darkness and play to win, because, in the end, survivors don't make the rules. The entity does. And the entity, I suspect, finds this whole rulebook business rather amusing.